Hello and welcome to Chapter 7, Section 4, Partial Fractions. Today we're going to take rational expressions and change them into partial fractions. We do that by first factoring the denominator of the given rational expression. Well, x squared plus 3x minus 18 factors as x plus 6 times x minus 3. Now, those two factors will become our two denominators on our new fractions. So we don't know what the numerator is. Excuse me. So we'll call the first one A, and we'll use our first factor, x plus 6, plus call the second numerator B, and go ahead and use the second factor as the next denominator. Okay, now what we need to do is find A and B. So what we're going to do first is multiply everything by the denominator on both sides. So we're no longer working with fractions. We're only going to be working with a regular equation. So we're going to multiply both sides by x squared plus 3x minus 18. So that's 8x minus 42 over x squared plus 3x minus 18. And on the other side equals a over x plus 6 plus b over x minus 3. Okay, I'm multiplying everything by the common denominator. That gets rid of all the fractions. So that leaves me with 8x minus 42 equals a times x minus 3 plus b times x plus 6. Okay, now we pick a value for x so that it makes one of these two binomials 0, so we can get one of the variables by itself. So I'm going to do x is equal to 3 first. So that's 8 times 3 minus 42 equals a times 3 minus 3 plus b times 3 plus 6. Okay, 8 times 3 is 24, minus 42 is negative 18, equals, of course that's going to be a times 0, so that's 0, 3 plus 6 is 9, so this is 9b. Okay, so now we just divide both sides by 9, and b equals negative 2. Okay, now we need to find a, and we do that again the same way. This time I need to make this binomial equal 0, so that means I'm going to have to make x equals negative 6. So that's 8 times negative 6 minus 42 equals a times negative 6 minus 3 plus b times negative 6 plus 6. Okay, 8 times negative 6 is going to be negative 48, minus 42 is going to give me negative 90. A times minus 6 minus 3, which is negative 9, a. I divide both sides by negative 9, and a equals 10. So now I can write my partial fraction for 8x minus 42 over x squared plus 3x minus 18 that's going to be equal to, well, a is 10, so that's 10 over x plus 6 minus, because the 2 is negative, negative minus 2 over x minus 3. And that's how we change to a partial fraction. Okay, let's look at another example. We have to factor, and this factors as x minus 3 times 2x plus 1. So that means my denominators are going to be a over x minus 3 plus b over 2x plus 1. Okay, the first time I'm going to make the first denominator 0, so I'm going to put in 3 for x, which means I'm going to be plugging into 3x plus 5 equals a times 2x plus 1 plus b times x minus 3. We simplified to get this form. Okay, so I'm putting in 3, so that's 3 times 3 plus 5 equals a times 2 times 3 plus 1 plus b times 3 minus 3. That gives me 9 plus 5, which is 14, equals 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7a. And of course I know I don't have a b. That was the whole reason for doing this. So I divide both sides by 7, and a equals 2. Okay, the first time we got rid of the b, so this time we need to get rid of the a. And to do that, we're going to have to multiply by, or x is going to have to be negative 1/2. So that's 3 times negative 1/2 plus 5 equals a times 2 times negative 1/2 plus 1 and plus b times negative 1/2 minus 3. Okay, start multiplying things out, and that gives me 7/2 over here equals negative 7/2 b, okay, now all I got to do is divide both sides by negative 7/2, and b equals negative 1. We're now ready to plug into my equation, and my new partial fraction is going to be 2 over x minus 3 minus, because the 1 was negative, 1 over 2x plus 1. And again, there's another example of how to change to a partial fraction. One last example of how to change a rational expression to a partial fraction. We get x squared minus x minus 6 factors as x minus 3, x plus 2. So my partial fractions are going to start out as a over x minus 3 plus b over x plus 2. Okay, after we get rid of the fractional form, we get x plus 7 equals a times x plus 2 plus b times x minus 3. Okay, well, let's go through and let's get rid of the b first. So let's make x 3. So that's 3 plus 7 equals a times 3 plus 2 plus b times 3 minus 3. Okay, 3 plus 7 is 10. That's equal to 3 plus 2 is 5a. And of course we got rid of the b. 3 minus 3 is 0, which means we don't have a b. So we divide by 5, and a equals 2. Okay, now that we have the value for a, we need to find the value for b. Okay, last time we made the b 0, now we need to make the a 0. So that means I need to put in negative 2 for x. So that's negative 2 plus 7 equals a times negative 2 plus 2 plus b times negative 2 minus 3. Okay, negative 2 plus 7 is 5. A times 0 is 0. B times negative 5 is negative 5b. Divide by the negative 5, and b equals negative 1. So that gives us our new partial fraction, 2 over x minus 3 minus 1, because the b was negative, over x plus 2. And that's how we find partial fractions. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you in class.